Hey, everybody, it's your hospitality friend Glenn here. And I know we typically don't go live on Mondays, and quite frankly, we're not live right now because I recorded this a couple of hours ago. But I had the opportunity to take some time to speak with the AHLA's interim president and CEO, Kevin Carey. So, hey, what a great time. Let's introduce him to you. Let's see what's going on. Kevin, it's so great to see you.
Morning.
Congratulations on the interiming. How are things going in your world?
Well, it's Monday, as you said, so it's a new week with new beginnings here.
Yeah, for sure. Talking about new beginnings, AHLA is, of course, moving in a new direction with having you as the interim leader. And I know you folks have a succession process that's going on right now, but I thought it'd be fun to spend a couple of minutes getting to know you a little bit better since you've been kind of behind the scenes for almost 7 years at this point. And a lot of people don't really know who you are, even though I've been fortunate enough to work with you in the past.
Very good, very good. Well, first of all, it's an absolute honor to serve as interim president and CEO of AHLA and to work very closely with our high-performing team to advance the industry's interests across not only the great work the association does, but also the AHLA Foundation. And representing the lodging and the hotel industry is really a pleasure, given what this industry represents in terms of being an economic and job-creating powerhouse,
Yeah.
the upward mobility and jobs that it creates, as well as the impact our associates have day in and day out on creating that guest experience. So it's truly a pleasure to serve in this role.
Yeah, and over the last few years, the AHLA has become more actively engaged in the education and taking a stand on helping people do better with issues like sustainability, which we'll get into a minute. But my point is, you've been like the chief operating officer, EVP there for a while, kind of putting all of these little different components together. So you have a unique and rarefied experience, which makes you perfect to do this interim role right now. So, what are some of your goals as we're kind of in this in between space?
Sure, sure. And for any organization, an unexpected change has the potential to create distractions. But I've just been so impressed by our team's response, their commitment to the industry, and their focus on advancing our initiatives and all of our priorities for the current year. We're extremely fortunate as an organization to have a well-defined strategic plan. We've got stable funding sources. And most importantly, we have members of both our board of directors and the foundation's board of trustees who are so actively engaged in helping to provide leadership and counsel to this industry and to us as a team. Those things, Glenn, are really sources of strengths for us. So our focus is really on a continuation of driving against the plans and the initiatives that we've laid out for 2024 here.
That's great, and the association has really transformed over the last few years. I would say
Correct.
adding well over 100 personnel in the organization. Or something.
We're getting close, but that's actually a great point because
Yes.
that growth is something certainly we've observed as a team. But we've gone from just under 40 employees at the end of 2021 to now close to 90, and that's really been across every function. Most significantly in expanding our government affairs professionals, both here in Washington and to support and work closely with our state association peers at a state and local level. Our membership has grown substantially over that same time frame. So adding membership support personnel, our events footprint has grown significantly over this time as well for not only what we do at the local level.
Just say, and I'm a proud advisory board member for the Hospitality Show coming in October
28th to the 30th in San Antonio.
All right, excellent. So I can't wait to be there. Check out thehospitalityshow.com. Kevin, please continue. And immediately throwing the plug too quickly.
No, it's well done, sir. So across all of these areas, the growth has really been intentional. That was part of our strategic plan that the board approved at the beginning of 2022. And really, what the intent behind that was to recognize that this industry has a lot of significant issues, both from a membership, but also from an advocacy standpoint. And it's an indication of the vital role that the industry sees that AHLA and the foundation play in driving the future prosperity and competitive position of this terrific industry.
Yeah, that's right. And you have the unique position of being able to be that connective tissue to bring all the different stakeholders together in one place. And one area we're seeing that with, in particular, is technology. Anthony and I are going to be doing a keynote speech for High Tech, talking about pulling all those stakeholders together and how to do it. But the other big issue I'm seeing this year, Kevin, and I'm doing consulting with several companies on this now, is
Right.
sustainability. It is
Absolutely.
back
Right.
and really, really connected now to the, I'll say, recycled fabric of the industry. Generally speaking, how are you seeing the surge and focus on that? And then we'll get into Green Key.
Well, sustainability is about the business.
Yeah,
This is a core business issue. You see, whether at a brand level or at a property level, there's a recognition that customers are looking for sustainable practices
right.
in making their stay decisions. Certainly, leisure travelers are doing that with more regularity, particularly younger travelers. From a business and a group standpoint, you've got those organizations who are building that into RFPs and using
Right.
that as a decision criteria. So the business case around sustainability is significant. And we've been having a conversation with the Hotel Association of Canada over about a year and a half time frame. And we were absolutely thrilled to enter into a business collaboration with them, the Green Key Global business, which we're now operating on a joint basis in the US and Canada.
Right. And the whole idea behind the Green Key Global is it's a sustainability certification body for hotels. And now you're jointly operating it together. And you've got
Right.
amazing companies supporting it: Accor, Best Western, Choice,
Yeah.
Crescent, Highgate, Hyatt, IHG, Marriott. And yes, I just read those names because I couldn't remember them off the top of my head.
Right. Right.
But Kevin, that's pretty impressive. And I think one of the issues that we had historically in hospitality is a lack of definition as to what sustainability truly means,
Sure.
and then how to measure it. We've seen a lot of the brands come in doing their own thing, but we need to have a common language. And I think that's kind of what you folks are getting at with this particular partnership and Green Key Global in general.
You're absolutely right, Glenn. Green Key Global is the third-party certification component.
Mhm.
Stepping back and putting that in some more context, we created our Responsible Stay initiative at the beginning of 2022. And that was an opportunity for us to recognize the breadth of focus and the work across the industry on driving sustainable business practices, for looking how to address issues from a food waste and energy conservation standpoint, sustainable practices. All of these things work together, but it was an opportunity for us also to recognize that not every organization's at the same stage of their sustainability journey. And in our role as being the advocate and representative for the industry as a whole, we need to be thoughtful around smaller organizations who don't have the resources of some of the global brands. So we're trying to put together a comprehensive set of programs, information, and initiatives like Green Key Global that can address this industry imperative going forward.
So that's interesting. So it's not just a certification, but it's really more about the education to get on that path to certification.
Mhm.
I love what you're saying, Kevin, because one of the things that I see out there is it's more of we're going to beat you with a stick if you don't do the right thing. This is like, let's all work together to do the right thing and get you to a place
Sure.
where then you could brag about it, right?
Absolutely. Again, customers are looking for sustainable practices as they make their decisions now. So there is a strong business case for the sustainability.
Particularly if you're addressing any meetings whatsoever. These rules have been programmed into the requirements for a long time.
Correct.
And now that we're in the post-COVID era, they're back and they're going in even a deeper level and examining how hotels are being sustainable. Sorry, please continue, Kevin.
Yeah. No, we're absolutely committed to advancing our responsible stay initiative. It's baked into our strategic plan, and now having the third party certification component with the Hotel Association in Canada via Green Key. You mentioned all of the brands that have signed master service agreements. We're now talking at a property level to encourage that take up, and there's a lot of momentum behind this, and really a lot of engagement that we're seeing even in the 2 weeks since we entered the business officially.
That's a fact, and that was official on April
April
2nd.
1st.
So,
Correct.
Kevin, how does this work? Because say I'm a, a small to mid-sized hotel and I really don't know
Yep.
what I don't know.
Right. So the Green Key initiative was designed by hotels for hoteliers. So it gives you a very practical roadmap and set of instructions where you can self assess. You get 1 to 5 keys assigned. You have the opportunity over time to increase your positioning and the number of keys you've attained through the steps you're taking at a property level. And you also have the opportunity for an audit as well there. So it gives you, again, to the point earlier, education, guidance, and support through this process. And with all of the entities who are involved, you start to get to a point where you've got some scale and some significance around this. So consumers, ideally, when they see the Green Key certification at a property level, will have that recognition of the validation that this provides. And one of the things I should have mentioned, Glenn, was that this is a member service as well. Having AHLA and the Hotel Association of Canada involved in this, as we operate this business in a cost-effective way, to the extent there's any proceeds, those just go right back into our core activities, driving the industry forward. So we see this as a real attractive value proposition and area for us to move forward over time.
Fantastic. So, what are a couple of the things that a hotelier should be thinking about as they begin their journey towards a sustainable hotel?
Yeah. It's such a broad spectrum that your question really speaks
I
to.
know. I just figured if I was broad enough, you'd just give me whatever answer you thought was best, and I would lock you in.
If you're just starting, it's about getting started, about developing a plan, recognizing this, coming to HLA and the Green Key website for guidance and information. If you're further along, it's about broadening the involvement across your portfolio or property set. So again, whether you're a brand, an owner, or management company, and vendors, suppliers as well, are contacting us, and they want to play a role, which is critical.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I'm working with one particular supplier right now that does patented recycled towels, for example, right? So that is something if you purchase, for example, and I'm not here to shill them today, but then that'll help towards your sustainability credits that you could get as well. So there's a lot of ways to be able to achieve this particular goal out there. But Kevin, I think what's most important, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong, but it is that getting started. And you don't have to look at the whole thing. Just do one thing, incorporate that into your hotel's routine, and then you could focus on another place, right?
Correct. This is going to be a long journey, and getting started is important, and being able to lean on your association and this jointly operated business that we've started with the Hotel Association in Canada is a great member service and guide and resource for you.
All right. So how could we learn a little bit more about this program and perhaps joining the AHLA in particular?
Yeah. Well, AHLA is always focused on growing our membership, whether we're talking about it in the advocacy context of ensuring that we're having a strong voice with elected officials at a state and local or a federal level. When we speak together with a single voice, we're going to be strongest. So there's always that desire to grow our membership ranks. And one segment in particular, Glenn, I would highlight that we're focused on is the independent segment, which is a critically important segment of the industry. And we're putting some real special effort against growing the representation of independent properties and membership with AHLA. So come to AHLA.com, go to Green Key Global, our website there, and you can get information on membership as well as our third-party sustainability certification.
Awesome. I really appreciate it. Kevin, thank you so much for being here. And thanks to all of you for being here today. Be sure you subscribe to our newsletter. Text the word hotel to 66866. And remember, the journey to sustainability is ongoing. And to get started, you just have to take one step on that way. Find out how to do that from our good friends over at the AHLA. Meanwhile, I'm Glenn. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.